NFL insiders seek his advice. He smack talks Jim Rome. The Fox Sports girls want his autograph. He cheap shots Indomitian Sue. He is the most interesting sports host in the world.
I don't always talk sports. Oh wait, I do. Stay thirsty, my friends.
And now it's time for the Tom Greene College Football Preview Show with your host, Tom Greene.
Welcome to Tom Greene Show, or this time, the Fox Sports 1 show, as you see on our koozies. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this guy's back. Please welcome Adam Dustin to the show.
Glad to be back, Tom. Glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
You had a lot of adventures out west?
Yeah, I went out to Washington State for 5 months and struck gold and made discoveries, climbed mountains, and then I just needed to return to my hometown of Essexville, Michigan, even though it's not really my hometown, but it's where I am now, so glad to be back, excited for football season, so bring it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this is the final year and only, the second year of this divisional orientation that they have?
I think it's the third year of the Legends and Leaders.
Third year? Oh, that's right, because Wisconsin won both Big Ten championships so far, both the games.
Both the games, and then BLM lost 5 times last year and still
made it.
Managed to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, well, he's down in Arkansas now, so we'll be interested to see how that works out. But so next year we greet mighty Rutgers and Maryland to the Big Ten. That'll be awesome.
The Big Ten will now be the Big 14.
Yeah, the Big 14, and we didn't sell out, but this is going to be an interesting year because Michigan's going to be a lot better. Ohio doesn't play anybody. Their non-conference schedule is like Slippery Rock, Buffalo, South Dakota State, and like Saginaw Valley State. So Saginaw Valley State will probably beat them. But after that, Ohio doesn't play a single team till the end of the year, which is Michigan. Yeah. That'll lead into my prediction for how the season's going to go. But so Ohio is one of the front runners, obviously.
Sadly.
Yeah, and sadly. Although I'm kind of happy. I think the Michigan-Ohio rivalry needs to get good, which means both teams need to win once in a while, as much as it kills me to say that. Let's face it, the 90s, Michigan, clean, honest program, destroyed Ohio every year. Then Ohio realized the only way they can beat Michigan is by cheating. So the next 10 years, and so they cheated, and they were able to beat Michigan a few times. And now that
Jim Tressel has bought so many tattoos for himself, and he's just savoring himself with all those tattoos on his arm, you know.
Yeah. And now they have Urban Meyer, and we all know he's honest. But no, I think it'll be good for the rivalry because I think Brady Hoke's doing a great job with recruiting. Then there's that team that I can't stand talking about, but you have to bring them up because apparently Michigan State is a team that could go places this year. And explain this to me, Tom. They lose Le'Veon Bell,
which was the reason why they went to a bowl this last season. Year. Don't even think that they won the bowl. They're lucky to just get in the bowl because of Le'Veon Bell.
Their defense, their best defensive player was Golston when he was actually playing and not being suspended. They lose him, and he was clearly their biggest, defensive pass rushing threat.
When he wasn't a punk.
But those guys are gone now. Andrew Maxwell never showed any sign of improvement. Who are their wide receivers going to be? I mean, all their best recruits ended up going to Michigan anyway.
B.J. Cunningham is gone. Was it Keith Nickel graduated 2 years ago?
Yeah, and they had a guy named Martin, I think, too, and he left a while ago. So Sparty's offense is a gigantic question mark. I mean, humongous. You might say their offensive line might be the strength of their team, but it's like, who's going to fill the void? And their defense, though, it's like everybody's talking as if they're like Alabama's defense from 2 years ago, and it's like, I don't see it. I just don't. I don't see Michigan State, beating the better teams in the Big Ten. I don't see them beating Michigan either. But
I don't see them going stronger than 6-6. Probably 5-7.
It depends. I mean, I don't even know who they play this year because I don't care about Michigan State too much.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, if they play like Northwestern and some of those smaller teams this year actually are pretty good. Northwestern's a threat.
Northwestern is always pesky, whether it's football or basketball. They're pesky. They're not really a plus 500 team, but they like to beat Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State.
Yep. Indiana is similar. They have 19 returning starters this year, and they run that pistol offense, which is a pain in the butt to play against. So Indiana's a potential upset team. So
just ask the Harbaughs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, I think it's an exciting season because who knows how good Michigan State's really going to be. Maybe they are legit. Maybe there's something about them that I don't see. I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
And Michigan's the same way. It's like Gardner showed a lot last year.
Yes, ever since Denard got hurt, and
he took over having played wide receiver all year, and he was great.
Yeah.
Should have won the South Carolina game, but our defense unfortunately couldn't cover somebody, and we couldn't tackle a quarterback when we needed to. But that's okay.
Also known as Vincent Smith got County rocked.
Yeah, and let me make one point about that. Everybody's so high on Clowney. He's a Heisman candidate. He'll be the first defensive guy since Charles Woodson to win one. The problem is nobody looks at the rest of that game. Clowney had one big play in that game. We all know which one that was.
Yes.
The rest of the game, he got shut down by Taylor Lewin. Shut down. He got shut down. He got blocked. And a lot of times it was one-on-one. So that shows you how good Taylor is. 2, Clowney clearly isn't really as dominant as everybody gives him credit for. And let me tell you something. Here's my final point about this. Clowney wasn't blocked on the big hit against Vincent Smith. They busted the blocking assignment, and he blew up a 5'8", 150-pound running back. And all of a sudden, he wins MVP of that game because of one hit. I could blow up a Vincent Smith was 5'8" and 160 pounds. I could have blown him up because they didn't. If they wouldn't have blocked me, I could have done the same thing. Was it a big hit? Was it a game changer? Sure, but it's not like Clowney busted through a double coverage and blew up, Eddie Lacy from Alabama,
who's gained about as much pounds as you and I combined this year.
Yes, he has. Yeah. Hey, you gotta. I like to eat. So does he. But yeah, Clowney, that hit, it was so overhyped, and for him to win when their quarterback was basically pulling a Michael Vick impersonation against Michigan's defense and making plays with his legs. Shaw. Yeah, Connor Shaw doesn't get MVP. Clowney does for one hit where he wasn't blocked. It was like everybody's caught on the Clowney bandwagon, but I'm telling you right now, whichever team ponies up the number 1 pick for Clowney, it's a bust. I haven't seen consistency enough in that guy. He is a huge bust right now. He's the most overrated player in all of college football. Is he the most skilled player? Like raw talent? Absolutely.
Yes.
But I think he's also the most overrated. So that's my feeling about that game.